Hi, and welcome to Jam-Packed Business Made Easy. My name is Jam Anderson, and I'm the CEO of Jam AI. And today, we're practicing exactly what we teach. You're about to listen to a podcast that's truly automated with our AI hosts, who are now our new friends. We also would like to invite you to listen to our podcasts that come out every Friday, where Flora is interviewing entrepreneurs just like you. We're exploring authentic challenges and discovering practical solutions together. Speaking of community, if you're looking for a community, you can find us on the School platform. Just search for the #1 community for entrepreneurs. All right, let's dive in.
Okay, I want you to picture something for a second. It's January 1st. You've decided this is the year I'm running a marathon. Big goal.
Yeah,
Huge goal. So you go out, you buy the absolute best sneakers.
yes.
You subscribe to all the running magazines. You spend like 3 hours a night watching YouTube videos on proper form, hydration, everything. You know the theory inside and out, but you haven't actually gone for a run.
You're the world's most knowledgeable non-runner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it sounds, completely ridiculous when you put it like that. But looking at our source material today, I had this sinking feeling that this is exactly what I've been doing with AI.
Yeah.
My Read Later folder is overflowing. I've got articles, newsletters, you name it. But if you told me to build a working AI assistant right now from scratch, I'd probably just freeze up.
You are definitely not alone there. That feeling, that paralysis, is really the core problem we're digging into today.
Right.
We're looking at an inside scoop on a platform called the AI Gym. And the diagnosis they make right at the top is, well, it's pretty blunt. They call it the sidelines trap.
The sidelines trap? Wow, that hit home for me. It's that feeling of being busy, but not actually being productive.
It's the gap between passively consuming, reading the headlines, feeling like you're keeping up, and actively building a real skill, a muscle memory.
And this source material is so different. It's not a white paper or some lecture series. It's like a training regimen.
It is. It has this very specific energy.
It does. It's like a mix of Mel Robbins, that kind of no excuses, get up and do it vibe. And then someone like Amy Porterfield, who gives you the messy, step-by-step business tactics.
That's a great comparison. It's a blueprint, specifically a 9-week blueprint, and the entire mission is to get you off the sidelines and into the game.
And the promise, which I have to admit made me a little skeptical at first.
The 10 to 15 minutes a day part.
Yeah, exactly. 15 minutes to learn AI. We're told this is some massive, complex thing. Can you really, as they say, move the needle on your business in the time it takes to drink a coffee?
Well, that's the whole question, isn't it? Because the source argues that the reason people fail isn't because they lack time. It's because they lack focus.
They try to learn everything at once.
They try to learn AI as a giant concept, get overwhelmed, and then just quit. The whole philosophy here is train your brain. It's literally applying gym logic to technology.
I do like that gym analogy. It really shifts it from studying to exercising.
Exactly. Consistency over intensity. You don't go to the gym once for 9 hours straight. You go every day for a short burst. You do one thing, and you leave a little bit stronger.
So with the AI gym, you show up, do one specific exercise with the tool right there, and you're done for the day.
And you get a result. The source is very clear on this. It's not theoretical. You use the tool right there to get a tangible result. But let's get into the structure. How do they actually fill 9 weeks?
Yeah. How do you make 15 minutes a day add up to something real?
So the first 2 weeks are what the source calls foundations.
Which usually means, here's how to log in. The really basic stuff.
It starts there, but they do something very deliberate right away. They don't just teach one tool. The source specifically lists ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, all 3.
See, that stood out to me. Most courses just pick one, the ChatGPT Masterclass or whatever. But this throws you right in with all 3 of the big players. Why do that? Isn't that just more confusing?
You would think so, but it's because they don't think alike, and that's a crucial thing most people miss. They treat them like they're just different brands of the same soda.
Okay, so what are the real differences?
Well, generally, Claude can be much better at creative writing, at capturing a certain tone. It feels more human. ChatGPT is often the king of logic, of structured data, of code. And Gemini, well, it has that deep Google integration.
So by forcing you to rotate between them.
They're inoculating you against vendor lock-in. You're not just learning one tool's quirks. You're learning the language of LLMs as a whole.
Ah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's like cross-training.
Exactly. And they do it without overwhelm. You're just spending 10 minutes seeing how Gemini answers a question versus how Claude answers it. It's about building literacy.
So after 2 weeks of that, you get your footing. Then comes week 3, which the source calls real-world use cases you can apply immediately.
And this is where the rubber meets the road. It moves from, hey, look what this can do, to, okay, how does this help me with my actual work right now?
That feels like a critical step. So many people get stuck in what I call the party trick phase. They have write a poem about their dog.
Right, but they never actually use it for their business. So in week 3, you might take a prompt you learned in week 1, but now you apply it to, say, summarizing a messy meeting transcript or drafting a really difficult email.
Okay, so foundations, then basic tasks.
Right.
But I want to pause here for a second and zoom in, because reading through the curriculum, one specific day just jumped off the page at me, day 22.
Ah, yes, the custom AI assistant day.
Right, and when I hear custom AI assistant, my brain immediately goes to coding, Python scripts. I picture hoodies and energy drinks. It feels advanced.
And out of reach for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But the source flags day 22 as the moment the light bulb really goes on for most users.
So what's the secret?
The secret is that it's not about coding. It's about management. The source describes this common mistake they call the open box problem. You open up ChatGPT, you see that blinking cursor, and you just type, write me a marketing plan.
I have done that exact thing so many times, and the result is always
generic.
So generic. It reads like a Wikipedia entry.
Of course it does, because you treated the AI like a search engine, not like an employee you need to manage.
Okay.
The method they teach on day 22 is a framework. Before you write a single word of your prompt, you define 3 things: purpose, scope, and success metrics.
Purpose, scope, and success metrics. Okay, let's unpack that. This feels like the secret sauce. Give me an example. Let's say I want an AI to handle my customer service emails.
Okay, so the bad way, the open box way, is to just say, you are my email assistant, reply to my message.
Which is a complete disaster waiting to happen. It's going to promise refunds I can't give or sound like a robot.
Exactly. No boundaries. Now let's apply the framework. First, purpose. You're not just an email assistant. You are the customer service triage bot. Your specific job is to draft polite, empathetic first responses to refund requests.
Okay, much tighter. A clear job description.
Second, scope. What are you allowed to do, and more importantly, what are you not allowed to do? You can only look at emails from the last 24 hours. You can only authorize refunds under $50. You cannot make promises about future products.
You're putting guardrails on the highway.
And finally, this is the one everyone forgets: success metrics. How do you know if it did a good job? Your prompt needs to include this. A successful response is under 150 words, uses an apologetic but firm tone, and must include a link to our FAQ page.
Wow, okay, that's night and day. You're not hoping for a good result. You're engineering one.
That's the whole philosophy. If you can't define the success metric, you're not ready to build the AI. The source says it so clearly. When you define these first, the assistants actually work.
It changes your entire relationship with the tool. You go from being a user to being a manager.
Exactly. And the world is full of these nonsensical AI assistants that are just fancy toys. This is all about utility.
Okay, so that's the 1-month mark. Now the blueprint shifts into the second half, weeks 5 through 9. And the language changes. We're not talking about prompts anymore. We're talking about systems.
This is the strategic part of the program. Weeks 1 to 4 were tactical, how to do a thing. Weeks 5 through 9 are strategic, how to run the business with the thing.
What's the difference in this context? A tactic versus a strategy.
A tactic is, how can I write this one email faster? A strategy is, why are we even writing these emails? And can an automated system do it for us while we sleep?
I see. So week 5 is advanced workflows. Then week 6 and 7 are business strategy plus AI implementation.
And then the capstone in week 8, full AI systems.
That word systems sounds big. It sounds heavy.
It does, but remember, at this point, you've been training daily for almost 2 months. You've built the muscle. A system just means it's reliable and automated. It runs without you holding its hand.
Give me an example. What's a system versus an assistant?
An assistant is you copying a meeting transcript and pasting it into ChatGPT to ask for a summary.
Right.
A system connects your Zoom account to an AI transcription tool, which then automatically feeds that text into a custom AI model that extracts the action items, which then automatically creates tasks in your project management software and drafts the follow-up email, all without you touching a thing.
So the human is completely removed from the middle of that process.
Correct. You've gone from trying a chatbot in week 1 to deploying a digital workforce in week 8. It's a huge leap.
And week 9 is graduation. I mean, a certificate is nice, but I think the real prize is what the source calls confidence.
That's the metric that matters. They actually say, watching people move through this with confidence has been unreal.
Let's talk about that experience for a second. The source mentions making it about tangible connections and visual presence.
Yes, this is so important. It's designed so you can follow steps as they listen. You're not just listening to a lecture. You're meant to be looking at your screen, clicking along with the instructor.
It makes it feel less like you're alone. It's like having a spotter at the gym.
It reduces the friction. If I just say, go build an assistant, that's intimidating. If I say, open this tab, click this button, the barrier to starting is almost zero.
Now, I do want to touch on something in the source that feels a little sharp, a little pointed. It's this part about the cost of waiting.
Yes. The FOMO angle. But it's not the usual robots are coming for your job stuff. It's more of a mathematical argument. It's about compound interest.
The phrase I used was stacking wins. I circled that.
Well, think about it. If your competitor started this program 2 months ago, they didn't just learn a trick. They built a system in week 8. And that system is now saving them, let's say, 10 hours a week.
Every single week. So while I'm still doing things manually, they have an extra 10 hours of capacity.
Exactly. And what do they do at that time? They build another system. Or they do sales. Or they talk to customers. The gap between the people doing this and the people watching isn't linear. It's exponential.
That's the scary part. It's not that the tech gets harder to learn. It's that everyone else gets faster while you're standing still.
The source really warns against that feeling of looking back and thinking, I should have started when it opened. If you wait 6 months, you're not just 6 months behind. You're structurally disadvantaged.
It's like trying to race a Formula One car on foot.
Perfect analogy. The mechanics are just different. But the source frames it as a nudge, not a threat. It says, if AI Gym has been on your mind, this is your nudge to stop waiting and start building.
And it all comes back to that commitment, right? 10 to 15 minutes. It completely removes the I don't have time excuse.
If you have time to scroll Instagram, you have time for this. And it solves that information overload problem we started with. You don't have to read everything. You just have to do the one workout for the day.
So to wrap this all up, we have this source, an invitation from someone named Robin, into a platform called the AI Gym at agym.gymout.ai. It's a daily, short, build-focused training.
And we have a clear path. Foundations, real-world tasks, custom assistance, using that purpose, scope, metrics framework, and then full automated systems. It's a complete arc from curiosity to competence.
And for me, the absolute key takeaway is that day 22 insight. Structure before you build. Purpose, scope, metrics. If you remember nothing else from this deep dive, remember that. Stop building messy bots. Give them a clear job description first.
That is the difference between playing with technology and actually leveraging it.
It really feels like we're at a pivot point. The era of, wow, look at this cool chatbot it's over. We're now in the era of, look what I built with this chatbot.
Moving from novelty to utility. And utility requires training.
So here's the final thought I want to leave you with. The source mentioned that other people are already out there stacking wins. So picture your biggest competitor, the one that keeps you up at night. Imagine they start waking up just 15 minutes earlier than you tomorrow. They log into the AI Gym. They automate one tiny part of their business. Then they do it again the next day and the next for 6 months.
Ooh.
By the time you finally decide to look into AI, their business fitness is at an Olympic level. And you're still just trying to figure out how to tie your shoes.
That is a sobering thought.
It is.
Yeah.
But the gym is open. The question is, are you going to show up? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Now go build something.
See you next time.